There you go. Hey, everybody, I'm the Dr. Vobley. Happy New Year. Here we go. It's another day, another way, a brand new month, a brand new year. Happy to be here. Welcome to Open. Coming up on today's show, the Tourism Council is encouraging Bronx residents and tourists to support local eateries in the annual Savor the Bronx Restaurant Week initiative. We'll sit down with the Borough president of the Bronx, and she's here, Vanessa Gibson, the owner of a local Peruvian restaurant, to highlight some great dishes that you don't want to miss. You don't want to take your eyes off of it either. Good. And then we'll sit down with one of BronxNet's talented access producers who will speak about her upcoming stage production, Love Conquers All. Plus, we'll have a conversation with veteran advocacy leaders and members who will shed some light on a recent summit supporting military vets and their families, and so much more. Then finally, we'll sit down with a marriage communication coach who will share tips on improving and sustaining healthy marriages in 2025. So kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Stay tuned. We're open. Happy Hey, I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. You're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, the Bronx Tourism Council is helping local residents and tourists ring in the new year with some can't-miss opportunities that will support local businesses. Here to shine a light on the initiative, Savor the Bronx 2025 is well, someone that's no stranger to the show. She's everywhere. She's here today. She's gracing us with her presence. So we are joined by the Honorable Bronx Borough President Vanessa L. Gibson and co-owners of Claudia's Kitchen, Claudia and Richard Berroa. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Now, you are everywhere, and we want to thank you, first of all, for everything that you do in the Bronx, not only in the Bronx, but in and around town, throughout tri-state area, because you are busy. Thank you for all that you do.
Absolutely. Thank you.
God is good.
Yes, He is, all the time.
And all the time?
God is good.
All right. So what are we working on now? It's 2025, and we got a lot of things that we're going to be working together on, too,
Yes.
as well as, I'm going to try to jump into a lot of the things that you're doing.
Okay, great. So we are excited. Our message this year is the Bronx is going to strive and thrive in 25.
There you go.
Because
all right.
we want to boost tourism. We want to stimulate the economy, create more jobs, support small businesses and entrepreneurs, and really make the Bronx work for the people of this borough. I think it's a new year of opportunities. We're excited about adventures and partnerships and initiatives. And one thing we are excited about is relaunching Savor the Bronx Restaurant
the Bronx,
2025.
Right.
And it is going to launch on Tuesday, February 18th through Sunday, February 23rd. Save the date, mark your calendars, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever before. The Bronx Tourism Council and BXCDC and the Office of the Bronx Borough President, as well as New York City Hospitality Alliance, we are excited to partner together to really boost our tourism and highlight all of our incredible eateries, from Claudy's Kitchen to so many other restaurants that are owned by local leaders, by people of color, by entrepreneurs that are showcasing their talents and really making sure that we see the diverse restaurants that we represent in the Bronx. And so for anyone that has information that wants to be a part of it, we ask you to visit our website, Bronx Tourism Council, at www.ilovethebronx.com. And most importantly, we need more restaurants to participate.
Right.
The deadline to apply is January 31st, and we want to make sure that businesses all over our borough, from the South Bronx to the Northeast Bronx to the Northwest Bronx, from Riverdale to High Bridge to Fordham to Kingsbridge, everywhere. We want people to be a part of it, because at the end of the day, this is about making sure that the Bronx is highlighted in a real way, and we showcase our diversity as a global destination.
And Claudia and Richard are here with you today. You guys have a Peruvian restaurant, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Talk about that.
So we opened our restaurant back on June 6th of 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic, and we survived because of support of our local neighbors. Word of mouth spread, and eventually that led to good press, which led to good accolades, and culminating with 2 Michelin awards that Claudia won. She's the chef at the restaurant.
The award-winning Peruvian restaurant. Beautiful. All right.
This is a family restaurant. This is a comida casera. We say in Peru.
Homemade.
It's a homemade.
Yeah.
It's all my grandma, my dad, my mom. They're big business and the food. We always do catering back in Peru. And I had this in my genes, so I start cooking. Since I got married, have my first daughter, I stay home, make a recipe, so the family, everyone love the food. And we talk to my husband, let's open a
And you
restaurant.
have those recipes from way back. You got grandma's and mom's recipes.
Yes,
wrapped up in
everything.
it?
This ceviche is my father recipe. We used to eat. I still eating ceviche like every day when I was little. And my dad now is 88 years old, and then he knows I still making his ceviche, and
you
he's
go.
so very proud. I'm very proud myself. People love that dish in the restaurants.
And it's very healthy, right?
It's very healthy.
Rich, what does it consist of? What do you have in there?
So the main
I'm
protein is
salivating
fish.
over here already.
So this is a cold dish. So it's cooked with the acid of the lime juice, and it's served with 2 different types of corn, and sweet potato, and then the heat is ají limo. So it has a spicy kick to it, but the sweet potato helps mitigate the heat. So it's all natural, organic. I mean, you don't get more protein than raw fish. So
And I can live my life without that. I've been eating that since I was little, every day. So I think that's one of my favorite dish in the restaurant. So.
And Borough President, this is just one of the restaurants throughout the boroughs that we're dealing with. And you invite other people to jump in, different backgrounds, different cultures.
Absolutely. I think the Borough of the Bronx has a lot of opportunity, and when you look at examples of, family-owned businesses like Claudy's Kitchen, it recognizes Peruvian, Latin dishes. We have Puerto Rican owned businesses, Dominican. We have Hispanic American. We have African American, Caribbean. We have Italian. We have Irish. We have Greek. We have, just so many eateries from different parts of our borough that really represent our diversity. And healthy food options, we want to also amplify because many are living plant-based diet lifestyles, and we want to make sure that healthy food is available and accessible and affordable, right? Affordable to all, because we know that we deal with some of the highest rates of asthma, heart disease, kidney disease, and obesity, and we have the answers to that. And a lot of it is what you eat. Health is wealth, and wealth is health. And we want to make sure that our Bronx-based businesses feel the support and love of their community. Just as Richard and Claudia opened during the height of the global pandemic of COVID-19, and they survived, right? And so we want that to be a message of resilience and strength. That is why our message is Strive and Thrive in 25. Because businesses like Claudy's Kitchen were open at a time when many closed their doors. And many struggled, right? We made it look good, but we struggled to meet payroll, to keep our staff employed, to provide services, and making sure that we could still do work in the middle of a global pandemic. So now that we're beyond the pandemic, it's an opportunity for us with Savor the Bronx to highlight the Bronx in a positive way, to talk about amazing entrepreneurs and leaders that are doing work. And from our economic development perspective, we want to make sure that we get access to capital for businesses, technical assistance, support, so that they can not only strive and thrive, but they can create the local jobs, stimulate the economy, and make sure at the end of the day we're lowering our unemployment numbers, which is important, but we're also making sure that residents of our borough and visitors and tourists alike have options and choices.
Yeah, there was a time in the Bronx where we weren't talking about healthy eating and healthy living.
That's right.
Everything was like, all right, we're eating these bad foods. We're trying to find a way to keep our residents healthy here now. And I think, you've come up with a number of initiatives to help that out. And thank you for all that you guys are doing, putting it together.
Thank you
Now,
for
what's the
having us.
recipe? Let me write it down. I'm only kidding.
It's a secret recipe.
So what are some of the other dishes that you have at the restaurant?
So our main protein that we sell is our pollo a la brasa. So if you know Peruvian food, most people know the
Pollo
food.
la-
Pollo a la brasa. So
Ah,
it's
yeah,
Peruvian
yeah.
chicken.
All right.
It's oven roasted, spice with Peruvian
Well,
spices.
first is marinate 24 hours, the chicken, with a lot of Peruvian spices. And then it's rotisserie chicken, but it's very juicy, very tender. Yes, a lot of people
Yeah,
love
nobody
that
wants to eat
recipe.
any dried up chicken. You know?
No.
That's a
Not
key
at all.
right there. It says
That's
very
not
juicy
what you're
and
gonna find
marinated
at our
all night.
restaurant. And also we have tons of specials based on Peruvian recipes. Lomo saltado, ají de gallina, arroz con pollo.
Arroz con
Jalea de
pollo.
marisco.
Oh, yeah.
So we have a variety, and we also have a variety of vegetarian options also for our
Can you
vegetarians.
describe some of this stuff that we have here?
There you
That's
go.
a ají de gallina. It's a shredded chicken, like white meat, the pechuga or
chicken breast.
the chicken breast, with the yellow sauce. The yellow sauce is made with a cream yellow pepper sauce, milk, crackers. It's very delicious. It's
That's
creamy.
my favorite dish. That's the one she.
Yeah, that's your
won me
favorite?
over with.
Yeah. That's the rotisserie chicken and the fried rice. The fried rice is it's a arroz chaufa, we call it in Peru. It's a fry with vegetable. You can add a chicken, shrimp, or pork,
In
or
Peru, we
steak.
have a lot of Asian influences
Yes.
because we had Chinese and Japanese immigration. So when you see Claudia cooking in the restaurant, she actually uses a wok.
A wok.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. So, Vanessa, when can we go over?
Listen, we can go this week. We have to visit. They are Broadway, right, in the Northwest Bronx, the
Yeah.
Kingsbridge, Riverdale area, and definitely checking them out. But also, I want to encourage businesses out in our borough that are interested in showcasing and highlighting your eateries, your desserts, your delicacies. Please join us for Savor the Bronx Restaurant Week 2025. Again, it's Tuesday, February 18th through Sunday, February 23rd. Please visit www.ilovethebronx.com. We are very adamant and very intentional about lifting up our businesses, supporting them in a real tangible way, highlighting the beautiful diversity we represent in our borough, and making sure that Savor the Bronx 2025, we strive and we thrive.
Well, we got to get them up to Albany.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah,
we used to do Bronx Day in Albany.
Yeah.
It was held in June, the last month of the legislative session. We had the Bronx Chamber of Commerce, Lisa Sarvin and her team.
Yes.
We work with businesses all over the borough, and they visited Albany on one day and showcased all of our businesses. That's something that we're thinking about doing, and we're looking to do this year for the legislative session. And we should definitely keep talking.
Yeah. there you
Bronx
go.
Day
I
in
would love to
Albany.
see you up
Yes.
there. Beautiful.
Just a 3-hour drive.
That's
But it's no snow in June, so we're okay.
right.
No, it's good.
We should get you up there. But thank you for all that
Thank
you
you.
do and
Thank
continue
you.
to do. Oh, wait a minute. What's the location of this restaurant? Because
We're
I think we're
located
going to roll up
at
our sleeves and go over.
5981 Broadway, which
Say it
is
again?
at 242 Street and Broadway.
Okay.
5981
242nd
Broadway.
Street.
5982 Broadway. It's at the corner of 242nd
And Broadway.
and Broadway.
It's at 5981.
5981.
81, Just
All right.
across that beautiful Cortland Park, right there.
Beautiful.
All right. We should get on over there and check you out. All right?
Yeah,
Anytime.
you guys
You'll be treated like a
very
king.
welcome.
We'll take some of this information and we'll just make some extra announcements.
Sure, definitely.
And this is going to be on your website. It's going to be on yours also.
Yes, Bronx Tourism Council. And like I said, we have a few more weeks until January 31st to get more businesses. Charlie's Bar and Kitchen, as well as Porto Salvo, are already participating, and we want to do even more to make sure that businesses are able to participate in Savor the Bronx 2025.
Beautiful. Your website's up?
www.claudys.com.
Beautiful. Hey, thank you guys for stopping by. Vanessa
Thank
Gibson,
you.
Borough
Thank you
President,
so
is in the
much,
house with
Dr.
Claudia and Rich.
Bobby.
Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you for having
Thank you.
us.
Thank you. Nice to meet you,
Thank you.
Doctor.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And then, I'm going to help you put on an apron. I'm going to help you the next time you come. We'll just mix it all up, all right?
Okay, sounds good.
I might get a big spoon and just go for it.
We have it right there.
Thank you guys so much. Love you.
Thank you. Thank
All right, we'll take a quick break. I've got more open coming up. It's coming up next.
19.7% of Bronxites currently experience food insecurity. Meanwhile, instead of these nice, colorful foods, this is the best food that they have access to. If this sounds like you, there are a bunch of resources to get healthy food for free or cheap. If you want to help, you might consider donating or volunteering in one of these places. Community fridges like this one are all over the city and allow New Yorkers to conveniently donate extra food to people who might need it. Go to this link and find your nearest one. Food banks and pop-up events like these provide millions of healthy meals to families in need. These organizations are distributing meals to Bronxites as we speak and are always accepting donations and volunteers.
And there you go. Welcome back. Hey, our next guest is a retired correction officer, a successful author, screenwriter, playwright, and a proud native of the BX, the Boogie Down BX. And she also happens to be the producer of the Keiwear show. It's a broadcast right here at the Boogie Down Bronx at BronxNet. And she joins us to speak about her fourth screenplay, Love Conquers All. You can't beat love. When that love comes around, woo, it's a beautiful thing. It's agape love, and it debuts this year. So please welcome to the show. Put your hands together. Everybody in the studio, you can go like this, up in the air, at home. Welcome, Keisha Mayo. Welcome.
Thank you so
How
much,
are
Dr. Bobley. It's so good to be here again with you.
Let me see. Throw your hands in the air.
And wave them like
around
you just don't care.
like a Ginger Rogers and a Fred Astaire. Let me hear you say.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're not nervous anymore. Well, listen, you've been working on some things.
Yes.
And you've been doing it for a little while, too, right?
Yes, I have.
So now you're going to bring it to the Lovinger Theater?
The Lovinger Jet at Lehman College.
What? Moving
I'm
on
excited. And now you remember you interviewed me some years ago for my first play, Deceived.
You see?
Remember?
You know what? And I did Tyler Perry, too.
You did?
I did the voice to a lot of his stuff before he did all this other stuff that he's doing now. Because he was doing
Wow.
plays at the Beacon Theater and places like that.
Right, I remember.
And my voice was running on promoting his stuff, his little stage plays.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew like you're going to grow.
Right, because you're going to promote my
That's
stuff.
right. It wasn't me that promoted it, Steve. He was just using my voice.
Right. Well, I'm going to use your voice.
I told him
'cause
about
it's
it,
in the
too.
album.
There you go.
You told him?
I told him about it when I met up with him. I said, hey, I was a guy, you used my voice back in the day.
Oh, wow. That's
He said,
awesome.
oh, yeah. And we took some pictures and so on and so forth. But thank you for, putting these things together for our community.
Yes.
What do you want the community to learn by what you just put out?
Well, I'm excited about this because, like I said, I did my first play to my book, Deceive, in 2017. And during the pandemic, God spoke to me, and he gave me this play in like a day. And, I thought about Love Conquers All because there was so many things going on during the pandemic, marriages failing, just people going through a lot. And what was put in my spirit was to write something, that would bring love back into homes, love back into marriages, love back into relationships, friendships, forgiveness, just encouraging people that love conquers all, and it conquers all through Christ, because, I'm saved.
Yeah.
So just to have a message of love and how love can conquer anything, no matter what you go through. As long as you have the love of Christ, you can make it through anything.
You got it all.
And I tell you, it's just been amazing just to hear the testimonies of people who saw the play already, So
What are some of them saying?
Oh, they said they see themselves in, you know, even in each scene, they saw themselves, a piece of themselves of what they're going through, and just being encouraged that they can make it now. You know, that because we go through for other people. What we go through is not necessarily for us, but it's to show someone else that, listen, if you made it, then I know I can make it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when we go through, we feel like we're the only one that ever been through it. Like when we talked about Deceive, I thought I was the only one. And you know, my biggest supporter, my mom, she never knew the story until the book came out. And it's the same with the play. You want to be able to touch people's hearts who's sitting home. You never know who's at the brink of committing suicide, you know, feeling like no one loves them, you know, but there's love. God loves, you know, we people love, and that's what I want to do, reach the hearts of people to let them know that there's somebody out there that cares, and there's somebody out there that been through what you've been through.
That's
and
right.
if they can make it, you can too.
And mom is your sidekick.
Oh, that's my sidekick. You know,
Yep,
that's my
she's
biggest
smiling.
support.
Look at her big old smile on her face, and she's recording too. So you know she's gonna be the postmaster general for this and post
And you know
this up
she's
all
in
over.
the play.
She is.
She's in
all
the
right.
play,
So we
yes.
got to come and see you too.
Yes, yes. We have an amazing cast. You know, I'm grateful for my cast. They do an awesome job just at executing the message that I'm trying to get across. And like I said, you know, I just want to be a blessing to the Bronx community again. I'm from the Bronx. 2, I graduated from Lehman College.
All
How's
right.
that?
There you
know?
go.
So I'm going to give back to my old school, and I just want to make it a awesome event. You know, and everything that I do is not necessarily, yes, we want money. You know, we want to make money, but I have a heart for people. So I want to be able to touch the hearts of people and just encourage those who going through silently like I did. I went through a lot of things in my life silently, not sharing. And you know, if I would have just opened my mouth, you know, I probably would have got help sooner. So that's I'm big on helping
So you
people
did
now.
you did think about suicide and all those things that were on your mind?
That's not necessarily in this play when it comes to suicide, but there was a time in
You
my
thought-
life I didn't want to be here. You know,
Yeah.
and then now looking at
But
the
you
things,
wasn't thinking about love.
No, I wasn't
just
thinking
thinking
about,
of-
well, deceived.
You were
It had to
deceived.
do with, you know, what I went through in my marriage. So
The
that
devil's
was
a
a lie.
liar.
The devil's a lie because I'm still
Yeah.
here.
You're still here.
I'm still here. It's still here to help someone else, still here to tell the story, because when we go through things is our testimony, and we know that we overcome by our testimonies, and we're able to help people through our testimonies.
And
So I look at the things that I've been, even on my job, we ain't talk about that yet, but that's okay. You know, went through a lot of
You mean
stuff
the job
there.
you retired from, or
Yes, the job I
Uh-huh.
retired from,
the
and
Department of Corrections?
Department of Corrections. I was on the verge of a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
But I don't look like what I've been through, right?
No.
And that's the love of Christ. That's
the
what
love
God
of
can
Christ.
do. Yeah.
And when you started this out, you said God came to you and you
Yeah.
know
Yes.
helped you put this together. So
Yes.
that means God is a part of this.
He's a part of
Because
this,
without
big
God,
part.
nothing really works.
No.
So
nothing
guess
works.
what?
What?
Since you are dwelling within and God is within you, that means you have the favor and the blessings to do everything that you need to do in life.
Amen.
Amen?
I received that
Yeah, that's true.
because he knows that I'm just.
That's the only
reaching
way you
up.
get
Yeah.
favor,
Yes.
when God's in you.
When God is in you.
Yeah.
And when he's leading and ordering and directing your steps.
And you got love in here too.
Love
That's
conquers
the
all.
ultimate love.
That's the
God.
ultimate
That's God.
love.
Start preaching up in here. Make you throw your hands in the air. Wait a minute. So what will people learn after coming to this?
They'll learn love, that agape love, that love from Christ, that love. They'll see themselves in certain situations that's going on in the play where they probably felt like they couldn't make it, or they didn't want to live, they didn't want to survive. Like Ms. Gibson said, strive and thrive in 2025.
25.
You know, now they know, you know what, I can thrive now. I can survive. I can make it, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's always somebody behind you that's going to go through this. There's nothing new under the sun. The Bible tells you that. You know, things that happened years ago, we're going to see it happening again. And who's best to, you know, tell someone you can make it? Somebody that's been through it.
That's right.
So, yeah, we're going to thrive in 2025.
Although you are unique and nobody in the world is like you, nobody has the same fingerprints and
Right.
all that stuff, we do experience the same situations in this world.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
But when you got God,
And you got God.
God is good.
All the time.
And all the time.
God is good.
Everybody knows about that. That's like throw your hands in the air, wave them like you just don't care.
You're right about
So wait a minute.
that. I hope you can make it, though.
Oh, well, let's talk and check out some of these dates and, see
Right.
what we can do on that. I
Right.
understand you have a book out also.
Deceived.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and this last year was my 10th year anniversary of Deceived.
Look at that. That it is right there.
Yes.
That's a beautiful cover right there.
Thank you. Yeah, it was my 10th year anniversary. I've been in Barnes and Nobles on the book tour
Uh-huh.
53 times. And I like to say, I don't think nobody ever been on the book tour that many times with one book. So it is favor, like you talk, the blessings on your life when your heart is in the right place. Now, when you just out there just trying to make money, tearing people down, stealing their ideas and doing certain things, you can make it but so far. But those people who have a heart after Christ and a heart after people that's really striving, I just got emotional just now, sorry.
Yeah, no.
Striving to help people.
Yeah. Because a lot of people out there doing good things and making a whole lot of money, but are they happy inside?
Right.
If God ain't in it, then, it's a tough road.
Right,
It's a tough road.
right.
I'm crying with you.
I'm sorry, I don't even
No.
know what happened just now.
No?
Yeah,
That's
so
the Holy Spirit right there. But
right.
we know your heart and we know what you want to do to help others.
Yes.
And that's what's important in your life, and I can see that. I feel that. Now, Mom is crying.
I'm sorry. But yeah, so the play,
Now
like
the
I
floor
said.
manager's crying. This is contagious.
I'm sorry, guys.
Now they're wiping their eyes. The studio audience, they're wiping their eyes.
Stop it.
Up in the control room. You're going to electrocute yourselves because water is a conductive electricity. Don't let it drip on the board up there. But
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know how I just got hit with that right there. But yeah, so I'm excited about the play. Like I said, I had it in October in the Stages Theater, and it was sold out. Amazing show. To where they opened the door for me to have it in the Lovinger Theater, and I thought that was a blessing. Because even when I did Deceived, I tried to do the play here. That was in 17. And back then, I really didn't know what I was doing, so I wasn't able to do it. So for the door to open, for me now, and just seeing how it's just getting bigger and bigger, it's just a blessing.
it is a blessing.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, though.
Yes, it's a
That's
blessing.
what it's all about. So we're going to meet up, March the 15th, Saturday, March the 15th
March
at the
the
Lovinger
15th.
Theater.
Yes.
Doors open up at one time, 6:30.
6:30, and it starts at 7. We're gonna have vendors. We're gonna have food vendors. People selling things, and just gonna be amazing. Right now, I feel my blessing will come. If I stay the course, stay the path, and do what I have to do, it will come.
You put in the good work, you get rewarded.
Yes.
You get rewarded, and you're helping other people get what they need out of life. That we
Yes.
so often say around here.
Yes.
You get rewarded.
Yes. And making
So-
the right connections, like how I kept trying to find you and I couldn't get you.
Yeah.
And look how God made it happen
We're
again.
gonna make it happen. All right. So look, anybody celebrating a birthday, you can do it there. Anybody want to bring a group down, you can do it there.
Yes.
In the churches, if you want to bring a church group down, you can do it there.
Yes.
Now, social media, where do we go to find out about this information?
You can go to my website, actually, which is KeishaMayo.com, and that'll tell you all the information about the play. That's actually where you can go to get the tickets. But my social media is Keiwear Mayo for Facebook. Instagram is The Real Keisha Mayo. Twitter, The Real Keisha Mayo. And my email address is therealkeishamayo@gmail.com.
Keisha Mayo in the house. Name of the play is?
Love conquers all.
There you go. We'll take a break. I've got more coming your way next on Open.
Hey, Creative Family. My name is Timothy Coleman, and I'm the Director of Education here at BronxNet. And I'm standing in BronxNet's Media and Technology Studios in the South Bronx because I want to let you know about an amazing program that we're bringing back that highlights the creativity of community members just like you. Emerging Media Makers is a show that introduces you to BronxNet's certified producers. They've taken a step in their creative journey by enrolling in BronxNet's media training classes. On this show, you'll get to see the many ways that our certified producers have created a space that's all their own. Emerging Media Makers, your passion lives here.
Yeah, we're live. Here we go. We were just doing some rapping in the background, right? Old school rapping. Welcome back, everybody, of the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. Our next guests are veterans and advocates for Veteran Action Now, and they are here to, well, shed some light on the important issues raised at Veterans Political Action Summit. So please welcome to the show Kevin C. Meggett, Stephen Cologne, and Jacqueline Torres. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Like Dave Meggett.
That's right. That's my cousin.
That's your cousin?
That's my cousin, yes.
All right, all right.
Thank you for having us on the show.
Yeah.
It's a very important issue. Veterans are pretty much, we're becoming an endangered species.
Yeah.
And we're kind of worrying about what's coming up in this new administration.
Yeah.
That's coming. So January 20th is the presidential inauguration.
Yeah.
And on January 21st, Veteran Action Now will be hosting a press conference in front of the Manhattan VA. And we're asking President-elect Donald Trump not to privatize the VA, not to make cuts to the VA, and not to repeal the PACT Act that so many people have benefited from.
Yeah.
Part of the problem is that veterans don't have any type of representation. We're lacking representation. And so this is why I brought Jacqueline and Steve. They're part of Veteran Action Now. And she's out here representing.
Thank you for your service.
No, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
So, do you think that this is what they're talking about? Getting rid of those items like the PACT Act?
There's a whisper campaign going on. I haven't heard anything directly. There's no direct. President-elect Donald Trump has not directly said it.
Yeah.
But he has whispered. There's whisper campaigns, and you just kind of you got to follow. You got to follow the person that's being nominated.
Yeah.
The person that's being nominated, that was nominated to look over veteran issues, isn't really that qualified.
Yeah.
When it comes
Is
to
he a
veteran.
veteran? Or is she a veteran?
Yeah, chaplain. I'm not going to downplay a chaplain, but I'm a combat veteran, and
Yeah.
Steve is a combat veteran. Have you served in combat?
I did serve in Iraq.
Okay,
but
so
I
we're all
obviously was not
combat veterans. There's a difference, you know what I mean? So you just kind of go talk to a chaplain when you're in the field.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. So Jacqueline carried a big old, I'm not going to say what kind of gun it was, but there was something out there.
Yes, I did serve in Iraq. I actually was the brigade HR officer. So my job was to take care of soldiers.
Yeah.
And they were dispersed throughout Iraq, Kuwait, and here in the States. So it was a really important job because when there are casualties, they look to us.
Yeah, yeah. So you think there's going to be a change, or the guy may just come in and leave things the same? We don't know yet.
Well,
you want to just reach out to the president. How are you going to do it?
I'm not going to wait till the last minute. I'm not going to wait until it happens. I'd rather address it before it happens. It's something that is definitely whispered, having privatization of the VA. And when you start to put money before patients, it doesn't look good. You start to get the same janky healthcare system that civilians have. And to Steve's, he's actually, you could tell a little bit of your story also, that why healthcare is important.
I mean, I was given other than honorable discharge, and I fought it for 40 years.
Yeah.
This year, or rather last year, in 2024, 40 years to the almost to the day, I got my honorable discharge that I deserved.
All right.
So I started going to the VA to get health care. I mean, it's like going from 10 to 100. There's no comparison.
Yeah.
They did surgery on my eye last year,
Yeah.
right? A year and a half ago. And I'm getting surgery again, in fact, this Thursday, in a few days.
Yeah.
And I'm getting it done through the VA now. The reason it was never completed, the second stage, was I had to go through 5 different specialists.
Ooh. Yeah.
This specialist sent me to this specialist, to this specialist sent me to this specialist, to this. Why would a specialist? I went to the VA. My provider said, well, I'm going to send you to the eye doctor. Sent me up there. All right, we got to get these reports back. We're going to do surgery. One person
One person.
does everything.
So you were held up because of a dishonorable discharge?
No, I had an other than honorable discharge course. There was a lot of racism back then in the 80s. And I was in Beirut in 1983.
Yeah.
What they refer to as the Forgotten War. Because when they blew up the building, I was there.
Wow.
And the public put pressure on Ronald Reagan, who was the president at the time, to pull us out. He pulled us out.
Yeah.
And they try to cover it. I've never got to see a psychiatrist, and I knew something was wrong in my head. But then when I went to the VA, they said, "Oh, we can't see you. You don't got honorable discharge."
Yeah.
I'm like, "You created this in my head, and I can't see you." Right. So there's got to be changes done. For 40 years I suffered. It caused me to start drinking, start using drugs to self-medicate. Ended up going to prison, unfortunately, for 18 years straight. Yeah. And it was in prison that I actually got assistance in a veteran residential program. For 6 months, I ended up staying there for 18 months.
Yeah.
Because I knew I needed help, and I wanted to really internalize it. And I wanted to learn more. I became the assistant director, sergeant arms director of the program. And I want to be able to use my story to help other veterans going through the same thing.
Right.
Because as you were saying in the other segment, a lot of people doing suicide and things like that, they're not the only ones doing it. Other people doing it. So when you say, wow, he made it, maybe I could talk to him to find out how he did it. Yeah. And that's why, I want to be a veteran advocate.
Well,
That's
I'm
what I'm
glad you
dedicating
came
the
all the
rest
way
of my
through
life
it.
there.
You're here to help other
Yeah.
people. There are a lot of people in the
Come full
news now.
circle.
The Green Beret that went and burned up the Tesla car and blew that car in front of the building.
See, the thing is, Dr. Bobley, a lot of people don't realize when you go to war and you're out there, you can't unsee what you see. You can't. It's almost you can't unring a bell once it's rung.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're asking that you keep the VA the way it is.
Yeah.
Because I didn't when I went into the Navy, I didn't take an oath with Elon Musk or X or Walmart or Starbucks. So I don't want I took it with the federal government. That's where my and notwithstanding, when I got out, and I guess I could speak for you guys too, none of us were given they didn't unoath us. We're still under an oath, so to speak. And that oath is to protect this country from enemies, both foreign and domestic. And so what our enemies look like? Is it poor education, inadequate food, unemployment? Like the war is really here. And so I don't want my VA to be interpreted through corporate plutocracy. And I think part of the problem is that there's no veterans that are actually in office, that are running for office. That's the lack of representation.
Yeah.
Veteran problems are very, most people don't care because it's faceless. I'm trying to humanize it by putting a face to it. And speaking of running for office, I believe that
Yes.
Jacqueline's going to run for office?
Yes.
All right.
That's the hope. Yep.
We
Yeah.
need that
We
support
need it.
for
We have nothing.
So yeah, I'm running for City Council, District 13, which is in the Bronx. Currently, there are.
Did you talk to the borough president?
Yes, I did.
Good,
yes, I did.
Good.
So currently, there are no veterans on City Council, which I feel, it's one thing to say we support veterans, and I do believe everyone appreciates veterans and what the 1% who currently serve are doing for the country.
Yeah.
But how we show that support shows up differently.
That's important.
And I think, exactly, and I think that when you have someone who is a viable candidate, who has the background, who, can do good work for everyone, because veteran issues are everyone's issues.
Yeah.
That's right.
Veterans just happen to experience something that makes them go through it sooner, whether it's illness, whether it's mental health. Exactly. So these things that a lot of people, as we get older, we start having these different health conditions. Veterans are experiencing that at a younger age because of their service.
Yeah.
And so, when you think of veterans' issues, in helping veterans, you help everyone.
Sure.
So when you guys come together, and you said you want to meet up with somebody from Trump's organization,
I'm not opposed to meeting with anyone from Trump's organization. I think some people would say, "Oh, well, don't talk." I mean, the two things that are free in this country, in this world, actually, is Jesus and conversation. And so, you got to have a conversation, just to create some type of understanding.
What do you want to tell them?
I would
You
love
could
to
get
tell-
the opportunity to
leave-
speak to somebody from the administration.
If
What would you
anything,
tell
put
them?
more resources into
Into
the VA, and I'm open for.
Don't get rid of the PACT Act.
Don't get rid of the PACT Act. There are 738,000 people that benefited from the PACT Act, and that's why we're standing on the 21st in front of the Manhattan VA, which was slated to be closed at one time. And so it's very symbolic. And do you know the boxer Ray Mercer?
Yeah.
You know he's an Olympian gold medalist?
Yeah.
Do you know he's a former heavyweight champ?
Yeah.
You know he's a 10-year Army veteran?
I didn't know that. Yes, I did know. He came out of the Army. He was fighting in the Army too.
And he's going to be standing with us.
All right, beautiful.
So, I mean,
That was like one of the
shout out
hardest hitters.
Oh, yes. I call him Uncle Ray. He has a heart of gold. So shout out to you, Uncle Ray.
He did that nasty knockout with
Tommy Moore?
Tommy.
Oh, yeah. He did Tommy. Merciless. That was that. But this issue is so important that we even have an Olympian former heavyweight champion coming out to stand with us. So it's very.
What date is that?
January 21st.
January 21st.
12 noon in front of the Manhattan VA on 23rd Street.
Let me just rewind a little bit. You just had a political action network.
Veteran Action Now. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And what happened there?
Well, there's nothing that happened. That's who's hosting this.
Yeah.
But we're working with other organizations. I'm also the commander for the Bronx chapter of National Association for Black Veterans. But we're not too much, I can't be too political with these guys. So everything is done under veteran action.
But you're bringing the organization together.
All of the veteran organizations together.
So if I can add that what he was asking was about the Veterans Summit that was recently done.
Yes.
Where
okay, yeah.
So
Thanks.
mayoral candidates came out to this summit. They came to the Bronx.
There it is right there.
Yeah, and so they came to discuss what their platform was going to be in regarding veterans.
Yes,
which is extremely important because we want to make sure that whoever is elected sees us.
Yeah. So you probably get what you need in New York City, but beyond that, you want to bring the whole nation.
Right, but veteran issues are a federal issue.
Yes, that's right.
So if I could talk a little bit of history, in 2014 there was the big scandal of people dying, waiting to be seen at the VA. And so there were a lot of changes that were made where people were given the choice to be seen outside of the VA.
Yeah.
If they were unable to get a primary doctor in time to take care of their issues. And this type of advocacy is important. The fear is that the choice might be taken too far in terms of the VA is broken, so let's just make it privatized so that everyone's seeing civilian doctors as opposed to going to the VA. I think that we could do both, and we've proven that the VA can be successful through the PAC Act.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you guys so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having us, and so we can get this message out. It's very important. I appreciate you.
Really
Once
appreciate
again,
it.
thank you for your service and good luck for you.
Thank you so
Good luck
much. I'd
to
like
you.
to come back one day. and
You're always welcome to come back.
Awesome.
All right?
Appreciate
Let's
it.
get behind her and run all
It's
the
an
way.
honor to come there.
All right?
really
Yes.
Get the
appreciate
team
it.
together and run her the right way.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank
all right?
you.
Thank you. Really enjoyed it. Really.
Kevin, Meggett, Jacqueline, Torres, and bring it up a little bit, Stephen. Hello. Thank you guys for your service, man.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Appreciate you.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Open next.
Nineteen 19.7% of Bronxites currently experience food insecurity. Meanwhile, instead of these nice, colorful foods, this is the best food that they have access to. If this sounds like you, there are a bunch of resources to get healthy food for free or cheap. If you want to help, you might consider donating or volunteering in one of these places. Community fridges like this one are all over the city, and allow New Yorkers to conveniently donate extra food to people who might need it. Go to this link and find your nearest one. Food banks and pop-up events like these provide millions of healthy meals to families in need. These organizations are distributing meals to Bronxites as we speak, and are always accepting donations and volunteers.
And welcome back. Our last guest is a marriage communication coach and the founder of TLC Coaching. She joins us to share some important tips that can help strengthen and sustain marriages in 2025. Please welcome to the show, Trinette L. Collier. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Trinette, let me call you. How are you?
I'm awesome. Happy New Year.
Good.
How are you?
I heard you're in here all the way from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
How's the weather out there?
It's cold today. We're supposed to get some snow, but this is Atlanta, so we never know.
Snow in Atlanta. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, tell us about some of the things that you're working on. And thank you, first of all, for joining us. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you started with your marriage coaching business.
Well, I'm a former educator of 20 plus years, and I took an early leave to pursue coaching. I've always coached along with teaching, but I wanted to pursue it full time. And so I started off as a relationship coach. I am a certified relationship coach.
Uh-huh.
And of course, it was my passion, but God just continued to pull me towards marriages. I love relationships. I love marriage. And I saw there was a great need in the communication in our relationships and so forth. And so I was just led to continue coaching marriages that, people who are married 7 years plus, not necessarily newlyweds, but people who've been married. And sometimes, you hit that little communication challenge and people feel like your marriage is over. And it's like, no, it just, we just need some strategies and tips and so forth. So That's how
Yeah.
it happened for me.
Yeah, but how did you find out that you needed to do this in the marriage area?
That's a great question. People would come to me when I was doing relationship coaching. I was coaching a lot of women, and I was coaching married women, and didn't really know that. And so a lot of people would come to me and ask me questions, and because of my attitude, I'm very positive and uplifting, and I would just encourage people just to try, just to do
Hmm.
new things, and try new strategies, and just give them all kinds of tips. But again, I didn't know I was coaching at that time. And so I just found that passion, that love. And I'm just like, you know what, this is I love doing this, because again, I love for people to thrive, and I
Uh,
love people, I don't like to see people give up. And and in the
uh,
world that we're living in, social media, people want to give up so quickly on marriage.
yeah. Is there something in common with a lot of the people that come to you? Is that they have that same thing, or a lot of what that they want to know about when you're coaching them?
They want to know how to communicate with their spouse. They want to know how to talk. And so, we're quick to say, oh, communication is essential.
Yeah.
That is true. However, comprehension goes along with that. We can communicate all day, we could talk back and forth, but are we really understanding? Are we really comprehending what our spouse is asking or telling us?
Or is
And
someone listening?
yeah, listening. And basically it's
Yeah, that's
active
important.
listening. We have lost the art of listening to each other.
Yeah,
And so the foundation of my coaching is the love is. Love is patient. The blueprint
yeah.
for it is First Corinthians 13:4-7. And so when you go back to that
Uh-huh.
foundational piece, it's the we don't have patience with each other.
Yeah.
We're so ready with our responses. We don't take time to actually sit and listen to our spouse, because we're ready for that. We have our reaction already. And
Yeah.
so I found that to be the common denominator amongst marriages.
And then, you want to be on defense. Wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Without even thinking, and just really just listen and say, hey, you know what? My spouse has a valid point,
Yeah.
or we take offense to everything. And we're living in that day and time where everything offends us, even in our relationships.
Talk about the dream board experience.
Yeah, so I am that person that believes in vision.
Uh-huh.
Before it became popular back in the day with the Honorable Miss Oprah Winfrey, vision is there. And we're quick to have vision board parties with our friends and family members or whatnot. But I also believe that a marriage should have a vision.
Yeah.
And so the Dream TLC Dream Board experience is an ongoing activity that's available for couples to create a vision, a realistic and relatable vision, for your marriage
Yeah.
moving forward. We get married, we have all these expectations, we want to get a house and cars and travel the world, but we don't factor in life. And so life happens, and it deters our dreams. So we give up on it, right? So TLC Dream Board is that activity that is like, hey, come on, you're never too late. Let's revisit the goals and dreams you once had as a couple. And now let's merge them as a couple, and let's put them to life. Let's bring them to life.
What's that's in that song? It's never too
It's never
late
too
to stop, look,
late.
listen
Yes.
to your heart, hear what it's saying.
Yeah.
Better take a
Yes.
look.
Most definitely.
Yeah. What advice would you share with a couple that's been married for like a short period of time? They're not really involved in nothing really marinated, unless they've been living together for a long time and they just said, "All right, let's
Yeah.
do this now. We've been doing it anyway, so let's make it
Yeah.
official."
My advice would be to stay off of social media, first of all. Find that balance,
Uh huh.
and you create your own you create your own life, and you're
Uh,
in your space. Have grace and patience with each other, and factor in life, because that's what happens. We don't factor in life. And sometimes that goes over our heads because we're just, we have this fantasy of living happily ever after, which we can. However, we don't factor in things like the worldwide pandemic. We don't factor in job losses. We don't factor in, all of these things that we just like, oh, that's not going to affect us, but it does affect you. And that's what happens. We lose when those things happen. And then that's when it's like, oh, okay, I have this person now. What am I supposed to do? Wait a minute, this wasn't in the plan. So, I would just tell new couples or whatnot, just to have patience with each other and literally stay focused on you and your spouse.
Right, right. Do you have anything coming up? Any workshops? Anything that married couples can participate in?
Yes, I do. And the TLC Dream Board experience, which is ongoing, I have virtual and in-person options, and I have the Fireside Chat, which is a online community. It's private and safe space, a Zoom. It's free, and that will be coming up on January 18th. That's Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. And the kickoff that Saturday for that event will be we're going to discuss the upcoming AI in relationships and marriage. So it is a private online community for just 7 couples because I like intimacy and I wanted to build that community of couples. And so it's every month, and the first one will be January the 18th, and people can go online to register. It is first come, first serve, so get your seat ASAP.
Yeah. And they can go to your website to find out more.
Yes, I am TrinetteLCollier.com.
Trinette, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing in this space and time. Thank you. Thank you for coming on, and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you, and thank you so much for having me.
You got it. And we'll do it again, okay?
Yes.
And when we come out to Atlanta, we'll come and, hey, we're in town. How you doing?
Right. I can
All
take you to Chicken and Waffle Place.
There you go. God bless you.
Thank you.
All
Same
right.
to you. Bye-bye.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. We want to thank our guests for joining us and you, our viewers, for tuning in. Keep following us on BronxNet TV for continued coverage. And thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. You can join our hosts, Kim and Arlene, Darren Jaime, and Rena Valentine on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for new episodes of Open. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice. Let your choice control the choose. And remember, whether you say you can or you can't, either way, you're right. So say you can and you will. Of the Dr. Bob Lee, and I'll see you over 107.5 WVLS. I love you all. Peace. Happy New Year.